say it's slower.
That's 10 horsepower down.
Yeah, these things were pushing like 125, 127.
Yeah, that's
Gosh. Reds, Gixxer, blues, Duck, greens, Triumph.
The Ducati's got it mid-range all over the other bikes with a small exception early on.
Yep, well, especially torque. A bigger motor always has more torque.
I was looking at the horsepower line too. That's a pretty sizable gap.
Yeah.
Over the 750, and it's interesting to see how close the 675 and 750 are till the end, where the peaky inline four takes off.
I already knew from the get-go that Triumph would be the least powerful of the bunch, but it's respectable amongst the other two.
Yeah, and check out how close its torque is to the 750.
Right
Yeah.
in the meaty part right there.
And certainly the flattest.
But still, the biggest number, Suzuki GSX-R750.
The story isn't told just in numbers. Spec sheet jockey. Did I ruin your mirror?
Trying to get up in your junk.
I guess riding this road has just reaffirmed why I like this thing so much.
And why is that?
Well, in addition to the extra power and torque that this thing makes, which, I mean, I don't want to say it's not a value, but to me it's not everything about a bike, and just one thing that I like so much about Ducks is their chassis. Every one I've ridden just strikes me as being planted when it's set in the corner, and it just really sure of itself, very sure-footed. Not always the lightest steering things. I mean, they're not feathery when it comes to their handling, but God bless the Ducati chassis.
Yeah, it's definitely stable, but it's the biggest bike of this group, and this thing is like a 600, but with more power. And around these tight, twisty roads, I feel I can put it anywhere I want.
Well, yeah, as light, as nimble as that bike is to the corners, you should really hop on this. And the 675, I mean, so narrow, takes that nimbleness of the 750 Suzuki and kind of ups it one more, in my opinion. I mean, at the intro, I really loved how narrow and light and flickable this bike was. And this Triumph has so much character, in my opinion. It's down on power to you guys. Yeah, I'll give you guys that. But it's got this character to it that, in my opinion, trumps both of you guys' bikes. I mean, this 3-cylinder sounds so cool. It's got all kinds of...
Now, having ridden pretty much all day through the canyons, it's given me cause to pause about the 848. But I'm not going to say that the things I bragged about it have changed. I think it's got excellent stability mid-corner. It's not quite as light steering as these two. Maybe a little rough around the edges. It's typical of Ducati, some snatchy feeling, low RPM, heavy clutch pull. Can be a challenge to launch smoothly sometimes. It's easy to stall, so the clutch travels out.
And a narrow steering lock.
Narrow steering.
A lot of turning around today, and that was, you put the bars in full lock and you're against the
Yep.
mirrors, which the mirrors are pretty useless anyway.
Probably the most useless mirrors in motorcycle-dom right now. So I'd fully agree with you there. However, what I won't take back is probably the best sounding exhaust I still love its engine character, which for me has a frenetic top-end punch around 8,000 to 9,000 RPM. We already know that its lower or mid isn't all that great. As good as all the brakes they are, I prefer the Ducks brakes because they manage to get a really strong initial bite, and I can tell the difference between all three. So I prefer the Ducks brakes. I still think it looks the nastiest in terms of toughness.
It could be the coolest bike here.
Could be, but I'm still on the Triumph side. I mean, look. Is that not cool, or what?
That is pretty cool.
It's saucy. It is saucy.
That being said, we all love that 675R, especially out in the canyons.
Couldn't believe just how composed it is, from upright to as full lean as you can get in the street. It was just
And quick.
yeah, blown away by the whole thing. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've ridden the 675. Now getting on the R model with the O-leans and that great O-lean shock, it's pretty damn awesome.
I mean, the two of us, me and you, Kevin, on the highway earlier today, we were doing 6-gear roll-ons with the 750 and this bike, and hardly a difference. You didn't walk away from me.
The 750 got a few inches, but not much.
Yeah.
It was pretty impressive.
I expected it just to pull away from me.
And that's especially more so out in these canyons, because you're spinning the thing, and around these canyon roads, the thing just yanks. It never feels underpowered, even though it's got less power than these other two bikes.
Yeah.
It's really a sensational engine.
From the seat, it almost feels like it might be a little stronger than the Duck.
Yeah,
At
until
least
you
in
get
the
that
seat.
thing revved up.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, the Gixxer, I'd have to say best wind protection, adjustable foot pegs, most comfortable seat, got the Showa BPF forks, and some more Brembos up front. It's a really great bike. I could imagine people being really happy. You can do track days and you can commute to work, and I especially like it in comparison to the GSX-R750. We love the Gixxer 600, but this with the motor, $400, that's the best deal in town.
What didn't you like about it?
It didn't turn quite as sharp as the Daytona, and the other thing is kind of an intangible, is that I think that Triumph is really cool. Gixxer, we've seen Gixxers. This doesn't look too different than old Gixxers.
Little cookie cutter.
A little cookie cutter.
I've always thought the 750 was the best 600 ever made.
But maybe that doesn't matter.
I think for a street bike, taking all categories into consideration, I think the Gixxer is the most complete package. But if I was going to put one in my garage, I think I'd be pointing my way to the Triumph.
Yeah, I really don't want to admit that you're right, Kevin. I might have to give you that pass.
So does that mean that the bike that I've been raving about all day long is winning the both of you over?
No, just to say no to you.
I wouldn't say winning, I'd say swaying.
In any case, the bike I've been raving about all day long is growing on both of you.
It's a good
is.
one.
It is. Damn, Troy.
The new guy wins!